I've been listening to a lot of music because whenever I am not doing well mentally, I literally rely on music to keep me alive. I'm late to the Renee rap train, but I've had the whole album, but specifically the title track, on loop. I fucking love that song. The Paramore Talking Heads cover, Burning Down the House, it's quite literally sickening. I Wanna Be Your Right Hand by Nemesis. The new Casey Musgraves. The deluxe version of the Caroline Polachek album that I'm forgetting the name of. Specifically, the Butterfly Net, I guess, remix with Waste Blood. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I was hyper fixated on Yes and for like a week or two, and then that kind of dropped off, and the remix with Mariah Carey came out. She Said by Katie Tupper. I'm pretty sure she's from Toronto, and I found her like through a TikTok or something. Speaking of Caroline Polachek though, I just listened to her most recent album like, I don't know, a month ago or something, so again I'm late, but Billions is such a good song. The like choir at the end is everything. See, a lot of the music I've been listening to recently is stuff that I put off listening to. So like, for example, the Daniel Caesar album. I don't even think it's the most recent one. The one before that, I think. I literally have Spotify open on my laptop and my phone. Oh no, it is. The most recent album, Never Enough. I can't believe it took me this long to listen to it. Most of the tracks on there are good as fuck. I was on a Troye Sivan kick for a hot minute. I still love his most recent album too. Why do I not know any album names? Tizo Touchdown. Third Coast has been on my most recent rotation, but Sweet featuring Fouché, so good. Another late album that I listened to was, again, another one I don't know the name of. Gemini Rights, that's what it's called. Give You the World, also been on my rotation. And some older Harry Styles, like from his self-titled album. A little bit of Mazzy Star, but not really. And a song that I haven't been able to shake for years. What Once Was by Hers. I like literally want a tattoo for that song. I'm trying to read more this year because as someone who claims to be educated, I'm not. I don't want to say like in a real way, but I just feel like a lot of my information comes from the internet. And while I don't think that's a bad thing, I think it becomes a bad thing when that's the only place I'm getting information from. So, books it is. I do really want to keep fictional stuff in my rotation because my attention span sometimes is not on my side. There's a book I'm not going to show because the author is someone I don't agree with, but I didn't find out until after I read the book. It's fictional. It's about a woman who interviews a really famous actress because she's gonna write her basically like an autobiography about her crazy life in Hollywood. And it was really good. It was definitely a book that was out of my usual. I lean towards like thrillers mysteries, I guess you could I don't really know what to call them, because it's not like detective stories or anything. But there's usually like a plot twist of some sort at the end, and there's some sort of like murder or thrill, obviously. Gone Girl-esque is the route that I usually take, which, by the way, still my favorite book ever. So I read like, these are all like older books, but I read The Silent Patient, The Housemaid series. I think there's a third book, but I only have read 2. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I also read one called My Husband that was kind of hyped up. I literally don't even remember the book. Like, I don't remember it. I'm gonna check my story graph. Well, clearly it's a sign that I don't remember anything, because I gave it a 2. This is what I said. I felt like things dragged on for too long just to be like, that's it, when the book ended. The epilogue was the only slightly exciting thing that happened, but still predictable. I knew it was a bad sign when I was begging for the book to be over. I wish I liked this more, but it was just meh. I do love the cover though. It's beautiful, but good example of don't judge a book by its cover, because girl, bye. God, I'm just so funny. But I don't really know how to categorize books. I'm not an information scientist. I don't have a library graduate degree, which, by the way, I just found out about those and was a little blown away. But considering my only idea of a librarian is from like kids TV shows, I just don't really know what it means to be a librarian. But I digress. I started reading 10 Myths About Israel by Ilan Pape. I'm really butchering that, and I know that. This was actually gifted to me from a friend, because I had mentioned generally to my close friend's story on Instagram that I wanted to read more nonfiction stuff, and she sent me this. I didn't make it very far in for multiple reasons. One, I made it about 20 pages in and then went, I don't know what I just read, because with fiction I'm so used to being able to kind of like, not skim, because I'm usually reading the whole book, but like I'm just used to being able to like read quickly. If I miss something, it's not like I'm going to misinterpret or misunderstand or miss any important information. So it's easier to like read and like almost turn your brain off in a way. I don't know if that makes literally any sense. So I made it like 20 pages in, and it was like I didn't process literally anything. So I went back and like highlighted while I was reading, which ended up taking me like 4 hours to get back to where I had finished, which was 22 pages in. But I put a pause on reading this because it became February and I wanted to read a book by a Black author for Black History Month. So while this one is on pause, I started I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I'm just over 100 pages in, and it's been very intense. The first while, like the first, I don't even know how long, but like the first bit of the book, I was a bit confused about like timelines and stuff, but also, again, I'm really trying to process what I'm reading. When it's not something that's like some random ass fictional like story, like I really care more about this, so I was trying to understand at first, but my brain was not understanding. But now I'm getting into the swing of things. I'm hoping to finish it before the end of the month. My goal for books this year is one a month, so this is the one for February. And then after those 2 books, I would like to read Youth is Too Much by Zaina Arafat. I don't know how to say that. On a hot day in Bethlehem, a 12-year-old Palestinian-American girl is yelled at by a group of men outside the Church of the Nativity. She has exposed her legs in a biblical city, and their judgment will echo on through her adolescence. When our narrator finally admits to her mother that she is queer, her mother's response only intensifies a sense of shame. "You exist too much," she tells her daughter. That's just like a part of the back of the book, to give you an idea of what that is. I might, between like, so after I finish this and then this, I might add like a fictional one in between just to give my brain a bit of a rest. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Oh my god. I have been filming this with the big light on this whole time. I was wondering what the fuck was going on. Bitch. Oh my god. But it was actually rude. This looks much nicer, despite whatever is happening back here. Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? I'm in so deep. Oh my god, look at this. I still have her. You know. I recently decided that I want to start collecting, not like collecting, but just like gathering, you know, gathering CDs. I am dipping my toe into the physical media hobby, niche, I don't know what to call it, but people here and there are like, don't let physical media die, and I'm like, wait, yeah, I agree. Like, seeing people who collect like video games or movies or records, it's all like so cool to me. But I don't have a record player, and records are much more, vinyl is much more expensive than CDs. Honestly, not really, but like, it is. And I have nowhere to put any of that shit anyways. So I have a janky little pink CD player from Value Village and a few secondhand CDs or like random ones. I don't really know what's next on the CD roster. There's a record store near me that I keep going into, but the CD selection is so overwhelming that it's like hard to look through. Because I'm not like looking for anything in particular. I guess that's my problem. Like, I need to go in looking for something. But also, can we talk about how so many CDs come in like paper now instead of the plastic CD case? What's that all about? I feel like it ruins the experience. And I have a CD holder, like a CD stand, and the paper CD cases don't fit. They don't fit. Only the plastic ones do. So I was in said record store from earlier, and they had the rest from the Boy Genius, from the record by Boy Genius. They're like deluxe. I don't know, like the rest. There was more songs. They had that CD, and it was in paper, and I literally did not buy it for that reason. But I'm like, does every CD come like that now? If I want like a new CD? Oh, I bought I pre-ordered the Ariana Grande Eternal Sunshine one. And I got all 4, because there's 4 different covers, before I even saw the covers. That is what you call impulsive buying right there. So hopefully those come in plastic. If they all come in paper, I will actually be so upset. I think about this almost every time I open my phone. What part of my face is unlocking my phone? Is it my eyes? Is it my whole face? It can't be. But it, like, is my nose included? Because when you have a mask on, it doesn't work on my old phone. It is not my old phone. This is an old phone. So I can't have my mask on to unlock it. But also just now I went like this and opened my phone. It unlocked.